Gene Tierney, an emblem of Hollywood elegance, became caught in a complex tapestry of desire that transcended her cinematic achievements. John F. Kennedy, a figure preordained for a remarkable future, emerged not just as a luminary in the political arena, but also as a pivotal character in a passionate romance that has only come to light in recent times. As we navigate the hidden corridors of this scandalous affair, I will expose the tantalizing specifics and the profound ramifications their affair had on historical events. Gene Tierney, a celebrated star of the 1940s silver screen, seemed to tread a fine line between fulfilling her parents' and the public's expectations and pursuing her personal dreams. She admitted to leading a sheltered life, a factor that may have played a role in her later battles with mental health issues and personal challenges. In her 1979 autobiography, Self-Portrait, Gene Tierney reflected on the overprotective nature of her upbringing. Her educational journey began at prestigious private schools, including St. Margaret's in Waterbury and a reform school in Fairfield, Connecticut. To further her education, she spent 2 years in Europe, with her studies culminating at an international school in Switzerland. Jean's time in Switzerland was marked by a serene lifestyle, where she dedicated herself to writing poetry and becoming fluent in French, a language in which she excelled. She often sought refuge in solitude, preferring the company of books to engaging in social gatherings. In 1938, Jean's admission to Miss Porter's School, a renowned prep school in Connecticut, marked a pivotal shift from her previously isolated existence. In a 1979 appearance on The Mike Douglas Show, Jean reminisced about her first brush with the Hollywood scene. She recounted that during a 1938 vacation in California, accompanied by her mother Belle, sister Pat, and brother Butch, the family made a trip to Warner Brothers studio. Their visit aimed to connect with Belle's cousin Gordon Hollingshead, an acclaimed film producer who had secured 6 Academy Awards throughout his career. Jean's striking beauty caught attention at every turn, ultimately resulting in an offer for a screen test. The studio's interest wasn't limited to Jean alone. They were also captivated by her mother's elegance. Her beauty and grace were remarkable. Jean shared, noting her mother too was appreciated for her looks. Yet it was Jean who was offered a contract. However, at just 17 years old, her parents deemed her too young to embark on a Hollywood career. Coming from a family of considerable social prominence, there was also the possibility that her parents viewed an acting career as unsuitable for someone of her social standing. In 1938, the same year she began making her entrance into social circles, Jean expressed her desire to become an actress to her parents. Despite a protected early life, Jean was determined. She set off for New York, aiming to hone in her acting skills. There she worked with director Benno Schneider and a Broadway producer, George Abbott. Her Broadway debut came swiftly in 1938 with a role in the play What a Life. This marked the beginning of Jean's journey in the performing arts, showcasing her unwavering commitment to her aspirations despite her family's initial reservations. Jean's impact on Broadway was undeniable, earning acclaim from influential publications such as Variety and the New York Times. In a move that might have been aimed at managing or having a say in her burgeoning career, her father founded the Bell Tier Corporation. Despite this backdrop of burgeoning success, in 1939, Columbia Pictures signed Jean to a 6-month contract that unfortunately didn't lead to any roles, compelling her to return to Broadway. Her breakthrough came in 1940 with a role of Patricia Stanley in The Male Animal, which catapulted her to immediate acclaim. Her success did not go unnoticed by the press. Life magazine featured her, and her photographs graced the papers of Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, and Collier's Weekly. This surge in publicity eventually caught the attention of Darrell F. Zanuck, a prominent film producer at 20th Century Fox, who offered her a contract. Jean accepted, marking the beginning of her illustrious career with the studio and setting the stage for her iconic status in Hollywood. Shortly after her arrival at Fox, Jean landed a significant role opposite Henry Fonda in The Return of Frank James. The following year proved to be a whirlwind for activity for her. as she took on a variety of roles: Barbara Hall in Hudson's Bay, Ely Mae Lester in John Ford's Tobacco Road, Belle Starr in Belle Starr, Zia in Sundown, and Victoria Charteris in The Shanghai Jester. This intense schedule is indicative of the rigorous demands placed on contract actors at the time, who were under the tight control of studio execs. These executives had a say in virtually every aspect of the stars' lives, including personal relationships and marriages. The pressures Jean faced during this early phase of her career were undoubtedly formidable. What stands out is that the characters Jean portrayed were often strong and bold women, a stark contrast to the more reserved self-perception she shared in her autobiography. The effort required to bring these dynamic characters to life may have been challenging, yet it also offered her an opportunity to express the qualities she perhaps wished to manifest in her own life. This juxtaposition between her roles and her personal self-view highlights the complexity of Jean's character and the nuances of her experiences in Hollywood. In 1943, Jean landed a pivotal role in the comedy Heaven Can Wait, playing Martha Strable, the film's lead character. This role significantly boosted her career as the movie went on to receive 3 Academy Award nominations, further cementing Jean's rising star status in Hollywood. The following year, Jean starred in one of her most iconic roles in the film Laura, portraying the character Laura Hunt. The film was a critical success, earning 5 Oscar nominations and becoming a classic in film noir history. Jean's momentum continued into 1945 with her unforgettable performance as the manipulative and mentally unstable Ellen Harland in the thriller Leave Her to Heaven. The film stood out for its haunting atmosphere, and Jean's portrayal of Ellen Harland was nothing short of brilliant, securing her a much-deserved nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress. In 1946, Jean's talent was once again on full display in The Razor's Edge, where she played Isabel Bradley opposite Tyrone Power. Their on-screen chemistry was intense, leading to rumors of a real-life romantic liaison between the two. In this film, Jean tackled yet another complex character, this time embodying a woman with deceitful and sociopathic traits. Taking on such intense roles required Jean to immerse herself deeply into the minds of her characters, a testament to her dedication and skill as an actress. In 1947, Jean took on the role of Lucy Muir in the captivating film The Ghost of Mrs. Muir, co-starring Rex Harrison. In this unique blend of comedy and drama, Jean's performance as a widow who falls in love with the ghost of a sea captain was both poignant and memorable, with her ghost reciprocating her affection. The Ghost and Mrs. Muir has since become a cherished classic, beloved by audiences for its unconventional storyline and the emotional depth Jean brought to her character. Following her performance in The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, Jean's career continued to flourish, cementing her status as one of Hollywood's most sought-after leading ladies. However, with increasing fame came relentless public scrutiny. Having been shielded from much of the world during her upbringing, Jean struggled to adjust to the intense attention and expectations placed upon her. The overwhelming pressures of stardom contributed to a decline in her mental health, marking the beginning of a challenging period in her life. Jean's experiences underscore the often unseen toll that fame can take on those in the public eye, despite their professional successes. Jean's personal life, much like her professional one, was marked by high drama and decisive moments. She and actor Robert Sterling were on the cusp of an engagement, a union that seemed promising until her parents stepped in. Their strong opposition to Sterling was so pronounced that it ultimately led to the dissolution of Jean and Sterling's relationship. However, Jean's romantic life took a turn when she became involved with fashion designer Oleg Cassini. Once again facing parental disapproval, Jean and Cassini were not deterred this time around, displaying a resolve that mirrored the determination she often showed in her career. The couple chose to elope. On June 1st, 1941, in defiance of her parents' wishes, Jean married Cassini. Their union was blessed with the birth of two daughters, Antoinette on October 15, 1943, and Christina on November 19, 1948. This act of elopement marked a pivotal moment in Jean's life, asserting her independence and shaping her personal narrative away from the shadow of her parents' influence. In 1943, during a pivotal time in Jean's life when she was pregnant with her daughter Daria, she attended an event at the Hollywood Canteen and contracted rubella. This virus had devastating consequences for her unborn child, leading to her daughter being born prematurely and suffering from severe health issues, including partial blindness, deafness, and significant developmental delays. In a profound act of friendship and kindness, Howard Hughes, a close confidant of Jean, stepped in to cover medical expenses for Daria, showcasing a deep level of care and support during this challenging period. The situation took an even more heart-wrenching turn when years later, Jean was approached by a fan who admitted to having broken quarantine while infected with rubella to see Jean at the Hollywood Canteen. This encounter led Jean to this harrowing realization that this fan's actions had inadvertently caused her own illness and, by extension, the severe health problems faced by her daughter. The emotional impact of this revelation was profound, leaving Jean in a state of shock and disbelief. The incident was so poignant that it inspired Agatha Christie to incorporate a similar storyline in her novel, The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side, featuring the detective Jane Marple. I can't believe that happened. That's so shocking to me. What a sad story. Jean's struggles extended beyond this tragic event. She battled prolonged periods of depression, compounded by guilt and sorrow over her daughter's condition. Her mental health challenges were further complicated by a diagnosis of bipolar disorder, leading to a hospitalization in 1955, where she underwent numerous electric shock therapy sessions. Jean later reflected on the impact of these treatments, believing that they had affected her memory. In a distressing episode in late 1957, Jean's mental health crisis culminated in her standing on a 14-story ledge, resulting in another hospitalization. These personal trials underscore the profound struggles Jean faced, marking a period of intense adversity and resilience in her life. And it's so sad that she had to go through all that with her daughter. I feel like that would affect me too. Over time, Jean's unbeatable spirit and unwavering determination led her through the darkness of her past struggles. She emerged from treatment at the mental health facility with a renewed sense of self, ready to publicly share her journey towards healing. Jean's personal life took a positive turn when she met Howard Lee, a wealthy Texas oil tycoon, while he was still married to famous actress Hedy Lamarr. Lee divorced Lamarr and married Jean in 1960, marking the beginning of a period of peace and stability for Jean after years of personal challenges. I'm surprised he would divorce Lamarr. Together, Jean and Lee enjoyed a fulfilling life until his death in 1981. Reflecting on her career, Jean shared in her memoir her initial concerns about her voice's high pitch upon hearing it in her films. In a twist of fate, she took up smoking in an attempt to give her voice a deeper resonance. Tragically, it was emphysema, a condition often linked to smoking, that led to Jean's passing away in 1991 in Houston, Texas. Throughout her career, Jean graced the silver screen in 41 films over 4 decades, leaving an indelible mark on the world of cinema. Her extraordinary talent and contributions to the film industry were immortalized with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a fitting tribute to an actress whose legacy continues to enchant and inspire. In Jean's autobiography, Self-Portrait, she unveiled many facets of her life, including an undisclosed relationship that captured the public's attention. Among the revelations, the most startling perhaps was her affair with John F. Kennedy, whom she affectionately referred to as Jack. Jean disclosed that their relationship blossomed in 1946, a time when her marriage to Cassini was unraveling. Kennedy, then a young and ambitious World War II veteran, crossed paths with Jean on the set of Dragonwyck, where Jean was filming. This encounter laid the groundwork for what would have become a deeper connection between the two. Over the course of their time together, their relationship intensified, offering glimpses into a private world far removed from the public eye. Yet, despite the strength of their bond, Kennedy was upfront about the constraints on their future together. His ambition to become the President of the United States meant that their relationship could not progress beyond a certain point, and I'm assuming because she was already married and he probably didn't want to be with someone who was divorced. This acknowledgement coming from Kennedy highlighted the complexities and inevitable conclusion of their affair, rooted in the practical realities of his political aspirations. In Self-Portrait, Gene poignantly recalls a moment that encapsulated the bittersweet reality of her relationship with JFK. During a lunch in New York, just moments before their friends arrived, Kennedy delivered a candid and unforeseen declaration. "You realize, Gene, I can never marry you." This statement, dropped amidst the casual introduction to a social gathering, left Gene momentarily speechless, a silence that persisted even as the table filled with greetings and conversation. As Kennedy prepared to leave for his return flight to Washington, Gene, still seated and enveloped in the weight of his words, softly said, "Goodbye, Jack." This prompted Kennedy to pause his departure, return to her, and with a puzzled half-smile ask, "What do you mean? That sounds rather definitive." Gene's response, "It is," was both a resignation and a declaration, marking an end to any illusions about their future together. Their exchange, a fleeting but intense connection of gazes, was a silent acknowledgement of the finality of their moment. Kennedy then turned away to continue his journey, leaving behind a poignant memory etched in Gene's recollection, a testament to the personal sacrifices often hidden behind public figures' lives. And I wonder if JFK was actually in love with her or if he just wanted an affair with a movie star. Let me know in the comments below. I'm kind of curious, or if he was just leading her on. The end of Gene and Kennedy's romantic involvement did not end their connection entirely. When Kennedy became president in 1961, Gene reached out with a note of congratulations, a gesture that understood a lingering respect and goodwill between them despite the termination of the relationship back in 1947. Gene's reflections in later years revealed a profound understanding of the transient nature of their bond. She admitted to a sense of innocence in not recognizing the pointlessness of their relationship sooner. Yet she chose to remain silent about their story until sharing it in her autobiography. And that's crazy, she was silent so long about it. Gene's decision to keep the relationship out of the public eye until much later highlights her discretion and respect for Kennedy's privacy, even after he became a public figure of immense scrutiny. She insightfully observed that the very act of Kennedy expressing the impossibility of marriage hinted at the depth of his contemplation on the matter, revealing the complexity of their connection. I mean, I guess it's better than leading her on, but I don't know how long they were together for. Gene's professional life, marked by critical acclaim, saw a highlight in 1945 with her Academy Award nomination for Best Actress for her role in Leave Her to Heaven, though she did not win, losing out to Joan Crawford and Mildred Pierce. This nomination cemented Gene's status as a talented and respected actress within the industry. And I always like to think about what perfumes different old Hollywood stars wore. And honestly, I tried searching everywhere on the internet and I could not find anything. Gene was known for her elegance and sophistication, both on and off screen. While there isn't widely available information on her specific choice of perfume, celebrities of her era often favored classic, luxurious fragrances. During the 1940s and 50s, perfumes from brands like Guerlain, Chanel, and Lavin were highly popular among Hollywood elite. Fragrances such as Chanel No. 5, launched in 1921, and Guerlain Shalimar, introduced in 1925, were iconic scents that defined the era's perfume landscape. Given Gene's status and the trends of her time, it's possible she might have gravitated towards these or similar high-end classic perfumes that complemented her glamorous persona. However, without any references, it's really hard to tell. Let me know in the comments below, maybe you actually know which perfume she wore. And thank you for watching, and let me know which old Hollywood movie star or current movie star you want me to cover next. I really love doing these autobiographies. Alright, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out some of my other videos.